Hey, good people, welcome to the channel. I'm Musically Malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. I'm really excited about this one today. We are taking a look back at the 2000 debut album from Linkin Park called Hybrid Theory. Now, here's my history with Linkin Park with this album. I listened to Linkin Park, so in 2000, I would have been 12 years old. I was probably in 5th or 6th grade. And I never actually owned this album. I only had a few songs that I downloaded off of Napster or LimeWire or one of those, constantly putting viruses on my parents' computer. And I vividly remember one time being a melodramatic teenager calling my father downstairs to play Crawling for him. And this is what I did. I said, I just want you to hear this song. This is how I feel. And I played it. Crawling in my skin, these words, they will not heal. And being a parent now, you know, my oldest is 15. I could only imagine if my kid did that. I'd be like, okay, so what's going on, buddy? And I just remember my dad was like, so how does that make you feel? Or why does that mean a lot to you? So anyways, really funny. I don't know. I mean, there could be songs on here that I haven't heard. I'm imagining there are several of them. It's been 25 years since I was anywhere around this album. I listened to Linkin Park kind of up to Meteora, but I don't even think I owned Meteora. So I'm really excited to revisit this album and to hear even some of the songs that I am familiar with through an adult lens, because I think it'll paint a whole different perspective and should be a lot of fun for us to look at together. So we're going to give each song a listen, make a few comments along the way. I'll keep some notes on my handy dandy notebook here, and then after each track, we'll talk about the things that stand out and see what we can find out. Obviously, with this being such a big album, there should be some really great behind the scenes content. So without any further ado, we're going to get in. You can find the timestamps for each song down in the description if you want to skip to certain songs, or just press play and let's experience this amazing album together. We're going to get in with track 1 titled Papercut. Oh, I remember this intro. This is good for my soul, man. I needed this.
Something in here's not right today. Why am I so uptight today? Paranoia is all I got left. I don't know what stressed me first and how the pressure was fed, but I know just what it feels like to have a voice in the back of my head, like a face that I hold inside, face that awakes when I close my eyes, face that I watch every time I lie, face that laughs every time I fall. So I know that when it's time to sink or swim, the face inside is hearing me right underneath my skin. It's like a paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin. I know I've got a face in me, point out all my mistakes to me. You gotta
We miss you, Chester.
Paranoia's probably worse. I don't know what set me on first, but I know what I can't stand. Everybody acts like the fact of the matter is I can't add up to what you can, but everybody has a face that they hold inside. Face that awakes when I close my eyes. Face that watches every time they lie. Face that laughs every time they fall. So you know that when it's time.
Oh, those whisper lines are so good.
It's watching you too, right inside your skin. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a world.
Dude, this transports me back immediately.
Can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath the skin. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin.
I don't remember this. Man, it does appear like there's also maybe some cool transitions within here. I try to be sensitive to them, so sometimes I'll let the song play into the next one before we hop out. But even this one, it kind of had this ringing out, and then it picks right up into track 2. Oh, dude. I was honestly just doing work on other stuff today, and I've been talking for a while. Like, I want to revisit Linkin Park. I want to revisit some of the other albums that I really enjoyed when I was younger. One that's probably slept on, and I can't remember the title of the album, but it was Alien Ant Farm. The album, they did the cover of, what is the Michael Jackson song? Smooth Criminal. But this was the album, Anthology, 2001. You guys, anybody remember this one out there? A lot of people, so MTV played the Smooth Criminal music video a ton, and, for good reason. It was really cool, and the song's really cool. That was kind of, I knew Smooth Criminal from Alien Ant Farm, and then I heard it from Michael Jackson sometime later in life. But I remember playing Project Gotham Racing 2 on my Xbox, on Xbox Live, and I figured out the feature on the Xbox where you could load your own discs in, like download your MP3s to your Xbox, and then you could play your own music while you played games. So I turned off the Project Gotham 2 soundtrack and put my own music in there. And Alien Ant Farm, their full album was one that I just let run all the time. But I can't remember anything off of it other than Smooth Criminal. So that's a whole different story. But man, I just felt immediately transported back. And man, it's crazy that this was a debut album for them. Obviously, I looked into it a little bit because I was even curious, like, why call it Hybrid Theory? And supposedly, the band's name started as Xero, Xero. This is before Chester was on board. And then some things happened. Eventually, they got Chester on board. I think they were Hybrid Theory. And then because of some copyright issues, they changed their name to Linkin Park. And so there's some other interesting things going on there, but carrying that same idea of Hybrid Theory into this first album, which also points to the kind of genre blending they do, supposedly pioneering this genre nu metal. But man, the sounds of this for a debut album are so good. The songwriting, the passion, the clarity on it. And I forget, I knew Mike Shinoda was such a huge part, and we'll see as the album goes on, but I forget like how much Mike was really doing in this song. And I think even in subsequent tracks. And just the pairing with that and with Chester, and Chester's voice is irreplaceable, but just incredible, man. So, if you've been around the channel for any length of time, I'm a huge 21 Pilots fan. They're one of the bands I launched this channel with when we were doing a different format. I was doing a song a day, going through an entire discography. So I started their self-titled album, went through every single song, did one song a day, did an accompanying video breaking down all the lyrics. I've done ridiculous amount of hours of content on Patreon with 21 Pilots for their music videos and live performances. Going into the lore of Trench and the Banditos and all that good stuff. And Chester even is known of saying, and I saw a clip of it, that 21 Pilots was his favorite band, which is really cool. So there are some similarities here, and Linkin Park was obviously before 21 Pilots, far before 21 Pilots. But some of those same themes, man, of this duality of persons, especially this song, like what's going on inside, this kind of other figure, this darker side of yourself that seems to torment yourself, the idea of the night approaching and being kind of afraid of the night, that time that it's lonely and quiet and you're left with your thoughts and the turmoil that can create inside of a person. So, anyways, let's get in and see what we can find out in here. It says Papercut is the opening track on Linkin Park's debut album. Song combines, okay, we know all of that. Lyrically, Papercut explores themes of paranoia and internal conflict, Chester describing it as capturing the vibe of the band through its blend of rap verses, melodic choruses. Mike Shinoda noted the track's rapid creation and enduring structure, blending jungle rhythms with alt-rock intensity with its first 20 seconds. Okay, let's get down into here. Chester on Papercut is the band's identity. In a live phone interview, Chester described Papercut as central, Linkin Park's sound and identity. It's got everything. It's heavy, it's musical, it's melodic, it's got cool changes, it's got lots of different styles in it. That song continuously has been my favorite. He further explained, when we got to that song, the chorus was so dope and the words behind it were so cool, I kind of didn't really need to do much melodically until we flipped it up at the end. That was a lot of fun. Felt like that song really captured what the vibe of the band is about. Mike Shinoda said, when mixing a Linkin Park song, there are always layers, and the major issue is figuring out what the hierarchy of sounds will be. On our earlier material, live drums, guitar, bass took the stage. Still, if you listen to the beginning of Hybrid Theory, Papercut had jungle and hip-hop elements in the song. Linkin Park's intention was always to show people what we like to listen to. He added in another interview, back in the day with Hybrid Theory, we were plugging in a little jungle and drum and bass thing into our songs. Like Papercut, you can really hear it. I don't think I can even name 10 jungle songs. I don't even know what a jungle song is, dude. Or artists off the top of my head, but at the time we were so into it. We were getting all these sets of all this stuff, these 90-minute mixes of stuff that we couldn't name, and it was awesome. Mike Shinoda and John Hann said in an iHeart interview, the only thing about that song that didn't age well in retrospect is the video. If you watch the video, I'm sorry, I don't know what we were doing. The special effects are goofy. I don't remember the video, so we'll have to check that out on Patreon. He also recalled, I remember Chester showing up in all plaid, a whole plaid outfit on. I was thinking, that's a weird choice. It was the type of thing you have to choose your battles because at that point, there was so much on the line, we were just breaking. And there were minor disagreements on things all the time. So I wasn't about to get into a conversation with him about the outfit when we're just trying to shoot a great video. That's some wisdom right there, man. He's just like, there's a lot going on. I'm not going to major on minors and minor on majors. And obviously this, I'm assuming, is before stylists. As if they would maybe listen to stylists anyways. I don't know. So Joe Hann, who co-directed the video, also said in a YouTube video, it was intended to be a lot darker, but the label wanted a different thing, completely diluting it. We've done better videos than Papercut. It's funny, it's one of those things, because this is a pretty brutal, thing coming from Mike Shinoda, if you're the person that directed it. But I think it is probably the kind of thing like all of us can look back on maybe work that we did at a younger age and be like, yeah, I could have done better. Or it was the time, it was how, old you were, how experienced you were. And then obviously him feeling like there was some interference with the label. But it's just funny. I love that he can kind of laugh it off as well. I think we all have to be able to do that. The May unmastered version of Papercut features significant differences from the final album version. Extended scratching, louder instrumentation, vocal takes. The outro also ends on a different lyric. The face inside is right beneath my skin instead of the final version's repetition. I like that line. Face inside is right beneath my skin. Yeah, it 100% makes me think of Blurry Face with 21 Pilots. Dude, you gotta love it. The mohawk, multicolored hair, man. That was probably those days when you were using the colored gel. Whispering is genius. 100%. I loved the whispering in the song. All right. Let's get into track 2, titled One Step Closer. Here, we'll let it play from the end of Papercut. See, they kept that ring in there. Oh, yeah, dude. love the way he chooses to sing that.
Everything I said before, all these words, they make no sense. I find bliss in ignorance. Less I hear, the less you say. You'll find that out anyway. Just like before. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I find the answers aren't so clear. Wish I could find a way to disappear. All these thoughts, they make no sense. I found bliss in ignorance. Nothing seems to go away. Over and over again. Just like before. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break.
Dude, even the electronic stuff going on in here. This is everything I needed as a teenage boy. It's getting warm in here, dude. I forgot about that. Is that it? Is the bridge? The shut up? Yeah. I forgot about that. Dude, I don't know what it was when I was a teenager, man, that I just loved that. I wasn't a very angry kid or angry teenager. This was also the era, when did Jackass come out? Was it 2020? Was it 2000? Let's see. Yeah. This all came together at the right time. Jackass premiered on MTV October of 2000. This was just for all of this to come together, dude. That's what we did. We found grocery carts and tried to get our hands on somebody's dad's, video camera, and just pushed golf carts into curbs, into bushes. We jumped down hills. We did all kinds of stupid stuff. And these were our anthems. Just needed to let out some rage. But no, there's so many cool elements in here. I felt like there were even some kind of I don't know what you'd call it, hanging the notes on the guitar. These kind of pauses to let it ring out and then back into it. And there was even this kind of amp screech kind of distortion moment that happened in it. And it's so good, dude. Let's get in and see what we can find out about the song. And obviously it centers around this idea of I kind of feel on the edge, man, and everything's pushing me closer. We'll see. This is kind of a synopsis, which it looks like maybe there are some things in the description that aren't down here in the interview. I just don't want to repeat a bunch of stuff. Okay. It says a pressure cooker studio environment nearly derailed the band's career before it began. The track's iconic chorus directly channeled Chester's volcanic frustration with producer Don Gilmore, who demanded over 75 lyric revisions during recording sessions. What? Jeez, dude, tensions reached their breaking point when Bennington reportedly punched studio walls during arguments over Gilmour's insistence that his original lyrics didn't make sense. Confrontation immortalized in the first verse lines. I want to see the original lyrics. Originally titled Plaster, during the demo stages, the song underwent radical I wonder if it was Plaster because of him punching a wall? It went under radical transformation. While the producer pushed for tighter song structure and radio-friendly hooks, the band fought to retain their raw emotional authenticity, a conflict that nearly caused the track's removal from the album. This creative friction ultimately forged the song's defining feature. Bennington's visceral bridge outburst was an improvised studio moment preserved at Gilmour's insistence, despite initial band objections. Wow. Hold on a second. So Gilmour was the one pushing him to make changes, and probably somewhere within that frustration and rage born from Gilmour, Chester belts out this bridge that then Gilmour insists remains when the other band members are like, I don't know. That is wild. Maybe Gilmour knew what he was doing. The single became Linkin Park's breakthrough, peaking at number 4. Spent 17 weeks on the Hot 100. Live performances cemented its legacy as a cultural touchstone. The song closed nearly every show during their 2001 Hybrid Theory World Tour, with the Docklands Arena performance showcasing Bennington's ritual of hurling the microphone stand after the final scream. Later tours experimented with extended intros and electronic breakdowns, though the core arrangement remained unchanged due to fan demand. In March 2024, One Step Closer unexpectedly re-entered the charts. And peaking at number 9, the resurgence coincided with industry rumors of a 2025 Linkin Park reunion tour featuring a reworked lineup. Chester recalled to Kerrang! Magazine in 2011 how the band were forced to fight for this song during the recording sessions for Hybrid Theory. When we were recording it, Don Gilmour was really drilling me and Mike about lyrics, and it had gotten to the point where we had rewritten the songs 30 times. I remember walking into the control room, handing Don the lyrics, and he grabbed them, passed them in front of his face without even looking, handed them back to me, and told me to do it again. I lost my freaking mind, thinking this guy is a freaking maniac. But that kind of inspired the lyrics. I cannot take this anymore. I'm saying everything I said before. All these words make no sense. That's amazing. And the chorus, everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge. It all came from that frustration. So I guess in the end, he inspired me the way he wanted to. Several alternate versions. Man. They had these frosted tips, which is everything back in the day. It is really hard for people to see this song as well as the rest of the album sung from the POV of a teenager that his parents tried to make him something he is not. A teenager whose parents do not actually listen to him and furthermore contradict themselves by what they're saying. He's trying to speak to them, but they don't listen to him, so he just does what every person this close to the edge would. Falls from the edge and shouts to them to shut up and listen. In other songs, it's also implied his being bullied. Generally, most songs of the album are about a teenager trying to talk with his parents. Their usual arrogant parent type. They think they know it all just because they're older and won't actually talk with their kids, just try and force their ideals to them. Though most of these ideals contradict each other. It's sad, but it's really common. I'm one step closer to the fridge and I'm about to bake. I'm 12 years old and I love this stuff. Man. Amazing. I'm so glad that I got the inside info on that. This is why I wanted to revisit as an adult. All right, here we go. This is track 3, titled With You. I don't remember this at all.
To the cold and the static, put my cold feet on the floor. God, I'm about yesterday. Remembering, I'm pretending to be where I'm not anymore. A little taste of hypocrisy, and I'm left in the wake of the mistake, slow to react. Even though you're so close to me, you're still so distant, and I can't bring you back. It's true. The way I feel was promised by your face. The sound of your voice painted on my memories. Even if you're not with me, I'm with you. Now I see, keeping everything inside. You, now I see, even when I close my eyes. You, when you hit me back, we fall to the floor. The rest of the day stands still. Fine line between this and that. When things go wrong, I pretend that the past isn't real. I'm trapped in this memory, and I'm left in the wake of the mistakes, slow to react. Even though you're close to me,
Is it about parents or friends?
bring you back. It's true. The way I feel was promised by your face. The sound of your voice painted on my memories. Even if you're not with me, I'm
It almost sounds like somebody who maybe took their life.
keeping everything inside. You, now I see, even when I close my eyes. With you, now I see, keeping everything inside. You, now I see, even when I close my
Yeah, like buzz on the bass.
No matter how far we've come, I can't wait to see tomorrow. No matter how far we've come, I can't wait to see tomorrow. With you, now I see, keeping everything inside. You, now I see, even when I close my eyes. With you, now I see, keeping everything inside. You, now I see, even when I close my eyes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious lyrically with that song because it does sound like some sort of fractured relationship, but then it seemed like they were speaking about the person in past tense at times. This says "With You" stands as a pivotal track on Linkin Park's groundbreaking album, exemplifying the band's early fusion of rap rock, electronic experimentation, raw emotional intensity. The song originated from a collaboration with production duo the Dust Brothers. The heck are the Dust Brothers? Never heard of them. Who provided the track's signature Moog synthesizer textures and drum loops. Mike later reflected on the partnership. We centered on those Moog sounds, coupling them with our one instrumentation to create something entirely new. The song played a critical role in securing Linkin Park's record deal with Warner Brothers. You know, the thing that keeps striking me is like, obviously you're going to get a different feel when you're rapping to rock type anthems, which I love. Anytime even like other primarily rap and hip hop artists introduce like electric guitar into their raps, wins me over. But obviously this style just carries a whole different feel and a whole different delivery. but they're doing so much even with Mike's vocals on it, like these kind of cut-ins and cutouts and scratches and pans and a lot of, man, I'm just like, whoever worked on this album put a lot of love and care, and there is some professional touch on this. It played a critical role in securing their record deal with Warner Brothers. Don Gilmore identified it as one of only 2 tracks he initially connected with, alongside Points of Authority. This led the band to release both online in early 2000 to build momentum. Lyrically, the song explores themes of fractured relationships and internal conflict, with Chester Bennington's anguished chorus contrasting against Shinoda's rapid-fire verses about hypocrisy and emotional distance. Live performances of With You become a staple of the band's early tours, often opening shows with dramatic intros like the Dockland intros, debuted in London, snippets of Guns N' Roses. The song remains a fan favorite. There's several things I've seen in these notes, some like further diving into the music side of it, that these are no longer available. There are early and alternate versions. The earliest known demo, titled Dust Brothers, is named after the producers who contributed to the track. Features a different vocal take by Mike Shinoda, Chester's vocals sounding similar to the final version. Notably, Johan's scratching, Johan, or Han, I think Hans, is absent from the intro and the bridge. The ending is distinct. Chester repeats, "I can't wait to see tomorrow over with you," creating a unique outro compared to the album version. So, lots of different versions going on there. I am curious, though, because it didn't get too much into kind of the idea behind the song. Because I woke up in a dream today to the cold of the static. Put my cold feet on the floor. Forgot all about yesterday, remembering I'm pretending to be where I'm not anymore, meaning not in yesterday. A little taste of hypocrisy, and I'm left in the wake of the mistakes, slow to react. Even though you're so close to me, you're still so distant. Someone's physically within reach, but metaphorically far away. And I can't bring you back. So maybe it is this idea that they're still together, but like emotionally, because of the actions taken, there's a divide, a rift. It's true, the way I feel was promised by your face, the sound of your voice, painted on my memories, even if you're not with me. I'm with you. So this maybe contrition. So the recognition there has been a divide in whatever relationship is, or whatever, a divide in the relationship, but you're kind of like sorry and you're with that person even if they haven't forgiven you or reconciled. I hit you and you hit me back. We fall to the floor. The rest of the day stands still. Could be about a war of attrition between 2 individuals who keep fighting with each other, never truly understanding. Each day just passes by in this, leaving them exhausted. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a physical thing. But it is almost this like event that takes place that you're so torn up by that the rest of the day does just, it's, you know, like when you've got something going on or it's just this big heavy thing in life and you have to still go about your responsibilities, but it's so hard to feel present because it almost feels like the day is stuck in that thing, that news that you got or that argument you had or whatever it was, that it's just like you feel like you're still there, you know, even though the day is continuing to move. Pretend the past isn't real. I'm trapped in this memory and I'm left in the wake of the mistakes. But I can't bring you back. No matter how far we've come, I can't wait to see tomorrow. So I wonder if this is the idea that's like you need time, right? Because a lot of times when there are disagreements and things, and you know, I just celebrated my 17-year wedding anniversary. And there are times it's like, you have a disagreement over something and you both feel pretty hard-headed, right? You want to stand by what you want to stand your ground, but you let some time go by. And I'm not talking about days or weeks. That would not be healthy. Hours. And then you start to like have a more mature view and you're like, okay, I can concede where I made some mistakes and, apologize. And that kind of opens the door to, bringing some resolution to it. But in the end, a lot of times it needs some time as well. So maybe, I don't know if it's this idea of no matter how far we've come, I can't wait to see tomorrow. Like I can't wait to get beyond this place we're in. Let me know your thoughts. Always welcome that in the comments. Okay. Let's get into track 4, Points of Authority. It's like 2 types of breathing going on.
And put your name to shame, cover up your face. You can't run the race, the pace is too fast, it just won't last.
I never realized how much scratching is on it.
You love the way I look at you while taking pleasure in the awful things you put me through. You take away if I give in. My life, my pride is broken. You like to think you're never wrong. You live what you do. You have to act like you're someone. You live what you do. You want someone to have like you. You live what you do. You wanna share what you've been through. You live what you do. You love the things I say I'll do. The way I hurt myself again just to get back at you. You take away when I give in. My life.
Almost feels like a play on give and take.
You like to think you're never wrong. You live what you do. You have to act like you're someone. You live what you do. You want someone to have like you. You live what you do. You wanna share what you've been through. You live what you do. Forfeit the game before somebody else takes you out of the frame. Put your name to shame, cover up your face. You can't run the race, the pace is too fast, you just won't last. Forfeit the game before somebody else takes you out of the frame. Put your name to shame, cover up your face. You can't run the race, the pace is too fast, you just won't last. You like to think you're never wrong. You live what you do. You have to act like you're someone. You live what you do. You want someone to have like you. You live what you do. You wanna share what you've been through. You live what you do. You like to think you'll never forfeit the game. You live what you do. You have to act like you're someone. Forfeit the game. You live what you do. You want someone to have like you. Forfeit the game. You live what you do. You wanna share what you've been through. You live what you do.
I like some vocal scratching. Oh man. Yeah, I love the way he sings that one section. What was it? I'm sorry, I was trying to find it. I lost it. I mentioned it when we were in there. Um, yeah, I mean, even with this, I'm curious the title Points of Authority. Because it seems to me to speak to this idea, like he keeps repeating, right? You love the way I look at you. You like to think you're never wrong. You have to act like you're someone. You want someone to hurt like you. You want to share what you've been through. You love the things I say I'll do. And then it continues to repeat that idea you live what you've learned is almost like somebody like hurt people, right? That adage. And the idea of you're in some sort of pain, you want to see someone else in pain, and even this you live what you learned was maybe it was modeled for you, and you're just kind of repeating this cycle, right? Which is really important. It's something that my wife and I have really worked hard on, is like breaking certain cycles that we saw exist in our family that we wanted to do differently in our family, and ultimately into our kids' futures, and, you know, Lord willing, our grandkids' futures. And so even him, Mike coming in there saying forfeit the game, almost to me feels like this, like give in. You know, at some point as a person to grow, you have to allow yourself to be broken. You have to admit that you're wrong at times if you're ever going to change. You have to recognize when you have, what's the word? Like, it's not what I'm looking for, but when you have behavior that damages others and damages relationships, whether those are family relationships, friendships, working relationships, it's impossible as a person to advance and to grow and to be someone other people want to be around long term if you can never admit that, yeah, you're right, I screwed up. Yeah, you're right, I'm terrible at that. But I want to get better, you know? If you can't have that kind of humility, which to me, I don't know, that idea of forfeiting sounds like that. And if even what I was talking to about like conflict resolution in the previous song, you know, if I could never, and I feel the responsibility first and foremost for me as a husband, even if I feel like I'm in the right at times, it's not about just washing stuff over and like having this false peace, because that's not healthy either and won't work in the long run. But I do feel a responsibility as a man and as a husband at times to at least be the first one to come and say, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, I could have handled that differently. Hey, I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. Whatever it is. You have to be able to forfeit at times. Okay, let's see if we can find anything out here. Points of Authority. Song originated from the 1999 demo titled Oh No, released later on the Underground X demos. There is a lot of information here. It's interesting just on structures of the songs. Its themes of power dynamics and resilience, though never explicitly autobiographical, align with the album's broader exploration of emotional struggle. The track's enduring influence is underscored by its inclusion in the 2020 Hybrid Theory 20th Anniversary reissue, which paired the final version with its demo origins. That's cool. Okay, it's a music video. You high dog, this ain't about child abuse, just abuse. From my own experience, I relate to the lyrics because it shows my relationship with my abusive father. The chorus, above all, is all my father is, and he repeats them again and again, never changing. To create a situation to argue with you just for the sake of seeing you suffer the agony of what his actions and words bring to you, and enjoys it openly. Uses every opportunity trying to take all the things you enjoy just because he can't have or simply doesn't like them. Trying to break your pride and personality, make you miserable just so you'd feel more worthy by bringing you lower than himself. Oh, that's awful. Mike's part is what I see as my future with my dad, since everything I want to be and do is what brings shame to him, and I will do them because it's my life, but it'll ruin his and will put his name to shame. Therefore, he better cover up his face, stop this madness because he's playing a losing game. Narcissistic people should not be allowed to raise kids. If this song relates to you, even if this was your childhood many years ago, please consider professional help. Wow. Okay. Let's move into track 5, which you guys know if you watch the intro. I am very familiar with this song, although there are sections of it I do not remember. This is Crawling. Dude, come on.
I can't seem to find myself again. My walls are closing in. Without a sense of confidence, I'm convinced that there's just too much pressure to take. I've felt this way before, so insecure. Against my will, I stand beside my own reflection. It's haunting how I can't seem to find myself again. My walls are closing in. Without a sense of confidence, I'm convinced that there's just too much pressure to take. I felt this way before, so insecure.
Okay, man. I got a little emotional listening to that song. I think it's because like I can 100% see it, like I'm there, sitting at my computer, listening to that song, and then trying to remember like what is it that maybe resonated with me when I was younger. For all things considered, like I had a good childhood, man. Um, it wasn't until a few years later that my parents would get divorced, and then I would really go off the deep end, just drinking and drugs and skipping school and stuff. At this time, if it was fifth or sixth grade, then I was kind of just getting into skateboarding and, wanted to buy clothes from Hot Topic, but my parents wouldn't. So they met me in the middle and bought me sarcastic t-shirts from Spencer's. um, but I know for me, through much of my young life, I never had like a sense of self-identity, self-confidence. I very much, just, it was almost like a chameleon. And I found that there's a part of that became my strength in life. Not changing of myself, but I always had very wide interests. I was interested in a lot of different things. Skateboarding, I did Taekwondo. And then after I did Taekwondo for a little while, and I put everything I had into that, and moved forward several belts and won a sparring competition, and then, got into all the form stuff where you do like the choreographed thing, and I won a trophy from that. And then I was like, I think I want to play baseball. And so I played baseball. I did that for many years, and at a competitive level. And then I was like kind of done with baseball. I want to skateboard. And most of these things, especially moving into skateboarding, was connected to friends that I found or people that I saw that I wanted to be friends with, and they were into those things. And since I was like, I'm game for anything, I would kind of get into those things. And then my friend that was into skateboarding moved away, and I was kind of getting into video games, and I knew these guys that were total nerds that rode my school bus, but I wanted somebody to talk to about video games. And so I sat near them one day on the bus and kind of weaseled my way into their conversation. And then one day I saw some other kids that I wanted to be friends with. And so they were really into Jinko jeans, and they smoked cigarettes and weed. And so I followed suit, and that behavior of never having this true core of who I was led me in a bunch of eventually destructive directions. And, for me personally, if you follow the channel for the length of time, I'm a Christian. I've been following Christ since I was 16, 17 years old. And that was a pivotal change for me. And one of the big things that gave me was a sense of self, and not trying to find my fulfillment in people and their opinions. And then having this core understanding of who I was and who I wanted to be, and developing character and certain morals and convictions and things like that, that really gave me this firm foundation to build my life upon, versus just changing with whatever wind was about. But I just remember, being young and feeling that insecurity. And anyways, so that kind of transported me back to that place for a moment. Thankful I'm not there anymore. At its core, Crawling dives into the depths of human vulnerability, exploring the crippling grip of addiction, the constant battle against self-doubt. Chester revealed the song was inspired by his personal battles with substance abuse. Crawling is about feeling like I had no control over myself in terms of drugs and alcohol. The song earned Linkin Park their first Grammy Award. That must be a trip too, right? Because I'm curious, I don't really know anything about what Chester was dealing with for drugs and alcohol, or how that carried on, or if it was consistent, through his life. And I didn't know about any of that when I was younger, but that would be kind of crazy, if you were actively dealing with those things and you write a song about it and then you win a Grammy. Beyond its chart success, Crawling evolved into a cultural phenomenon that transcended the music world. The song appeared in movies, television shows, video games, introducing Linkin Park to a wider audience. On streaming platforms, rock radio, the track continues to perform impressively decades after its release. Falling wasn't just a hit song. It was a statement that broke down barriers and gave voices to those struggling with addiction, mental health issues, and feelings of isolation. So that I may have fallen in that camp, right? Its enduring message of shared human struggle continues to resonate with new generations of listeners, solidifying its legacy as one of the most impactful rock songs of the 21st century. Wow. I was feeling suicidal at one time, sometimes do still. Wrote a song about it, showed my friend, and he had me listen to this song. Ever since, I've loved Linkin Park's music so much more. Okay. Let's get into track 6. This is Runaway. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you want access to hundreds of hours of additional content from dozens of artists, then check out my Patreon. That's where we host music videos, live performances, exclusive live streams, behind the scenes content, documentaries, and you get the ability to help vote on the albums we listen to here on the channel. Patreon is the best way to support this channel, and you can get access to the entire library, past, present, and future for just $5. Join the amazing community that we're building over there, and I try to make it worth your time and your money. All right, let's get back into it. Oh, I remember this intro. Dude, this fusion is so good. Okay, it's first like really singing song.
On top of broken trust, the lessons that you taught me, I learned were never true. Now I find myself in question. They point the finger at me again. Guilty by association. You point the finger at me again. I wanna run away, never say goodbye. I wanna know the truth instead of wondering why. I wanna know the answers, no more lies. I wanna shut the door and open up my mind. Paper bags and angry voices under a sky of dust. Another wave of tension has more than filled me up. On my talk of taking action, these words were never true. Now I find myself in question. They point the finger at me again. Guilty by association. You point the finger at me again. I wanna run away, never say goodbye. I wanna know the truth instead of wondering why. I wanna know the answers, no more lies. I wanna shut the door and open up my mind. I'm gonna run away.
Dude, is anybody else still making music like this?
I'm gonna run away.
I won't talk this time.
Never wonder why. Gonna run away, gonna run away. Gonna run away, gonna run away. I'm gonna run away and open up my mind. Gonna run away, gonna run away. 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 I wanna run away, never say goodbye.
think I said the first like singing song. Obviously, he sang plenty on this album. I guess it was just the way in which he was kind of like singing um in the beginning. It's man, the production on this, like, obviously there's so much going on here with the live drums and guitars and all that, but even like the bass sounds going, not the boom boom bass, the bass sounds going on. I'm just listening like, how would I recreate this? And wondering like, are there people still making music that sounds like this? Because, you know, I've been on kind of a journey of learning to make music in Logic Pro. And so I'm listening to this and I'm like, man, I really want to listen to some Linkin Park and like try to see, can I create something similar to that? Because there's just something really cool about the stuff going on all throughout the music, kind of the bass beats of it that would even make some really great, just pure rap beats these days. Oh, the only thing that maybe I could critique so far, you know, being 6 tracks in, so halfway through the album, is maybe the tone of the guitar seems kind of the same throughout everything. And so I feel like maybe some switch ups and however, you know, they're setting up or pedals or anything they're kind of running through, there is that very consistent, which I like consistency with an album, but I think there could be some variation. And really it's leaning on the electronic beats and obviously the melodies and things of the songs to provide the variation that exists through these songs. But there is just kind of the consistent sound with that guitar that I would love to hear switched up a bit. Okay, the song originated from a 97 demo titled Stick and Move, written during the band's early days as Zero, with original vocalist Mark Wakefield. Did Mark Wakefield go on to do anything else? Mark Wakefield. Born 1974, known for being the manager of band Taproot, being the former vocalist of Zero. Yeah, but like, what's he doing now? Okay, hold on. What is Mark Wakefield doing now? Music management, Velvet Hammer, music management group. After departing Zero due to lack of success and preference for behind-the-scenes work, he found significant success in management. Okay. He remained a contributing songwriter to early projects. And he created the album artwork for System of a Down's 2001 album Toxicity. Okay, very cool. Well, go on with your bad self. That's another one I want to revisit because I don't think I ever listened to the full album, just a few of the big ones. Mike Shinoda wrote, Stick and Move was a crowd favorite at our earliest shows. Then, when we started recording Hybrid Theory, it never really stood up to all the other songs, so we completely rewrote it and it became Runaway. Runaway minimizes rapping in favor of melodic urgency, reflecting the band's experimentation with genre fusion. Brad Delson described the track as having a punk intro, while the bridge incorporates dissonant synth layers, distorted bass lines that mirror the lyrical tension. So it was never released as a single, but it became a radio staple. Critics highlighted its sonically expansive potential, particularly in its Reanimation remix. However, Bennington later expressed disdain for the track, calling it one of his least favorite Linkin Park songs, rarely performing it live after 2012. Despite this, the song remained a fan favorite, often paired with You in early set lists. Graffiti decorations under a sky of dust, a constant wave of tension on top of broken trust. The lessons that you taught me, I learned were never true. Now I find myself in question. Guilty by association, you point the finger at me again. I want to run away, never say goodbye. I want to know the truth instead of wondering why. I want to know the answers, no more lies. I want to shut the door and open up my mind. Two interpretations, of course. First, most plausible, is Chester wants to physically run away. He's tired of being with the same small-minded people, knows there's more than what others say. He wants to know the truth if he can make it out there instead of wondering why he never left. Shutting the door means he walks out to find out what he could possibly do. Okay, so the idea of not shutting the door to keep yourself in, but shutting the door on your way out and open up your mind to other things, like shutting the door on the person that's so close-minded. The second interpretation is mental escape. Chester shuts his bedroom door and opens up his mind by thinking about things or music. By doing so, he's able to inch closer to the answer to the truth. That's cool. I mean, from either perspective, you know. Or regardless, even if it's not a physical walking away, it's almost just shutting the door on that person so that you can open yourself up to maybe some other thoughts and opinions. All right. Track 7, titled By Myself. I don't remember this at all.
Do I hide my pride from these bad dreams and give in to sad thoughts that are maddening? Do I sit here and try to stand it? Or do I try to catch them red-handed? Do I trust some and get fooled by phoniness? Or do I trust nobody and live in loneliness? Because I can't hold on when I'm stretched so thin. I make the right moves but I'm lost within. I put on my daily facade but then I just end up getting hurt again by myself. I ask why. What in my mind I can't rely on myself. I ask why. What in my mind
Dude.
I can't rely on myself. I can't hold on to what I want when I'm stressed so thin.
That myself with the guitar ring out.
Much to take in. I can't hold on to anything, watching everything spin. Thoughts of failure sinking in. If I turn my back, I'm defenseless, and to go blindly seems senseless. If I hide my pride and let it all go on, then they'll take from me till everything is.
There's just this moody that switches into this like manic.
Try to catch them, I'll be outrun. If I'm killed by the questions like a cancer, then I'll be buried in the silence of the answer by myself. I ask why. What in my mind I can't rely on myself. I ask why. What in my mind I can't rely on myself. I can't hold on to what I want when I'm stressed so thin. It's all too much to take in. I can't hold on to anything, watching everything spin. With thoughts of failure sinking in. How do you think? I've lost so much. So afraid. I'm out of touch. How do you expect I will know what to do when all I know is what you tell me to? Don't you? I can't tell you how to make it. No matter what I do, how hard I can't seem to convince myself. I'm stuck on the outside, don't you? I can't tell you how to make it. No matter what I do, how hard I can't seem to convince myself. I'm stuck on the outside. I can't hold on to what I want when it's just so thin. It's all too much to take in. I can't hold on to anything, watching everything spin. With thoughts of failure sinking in. I can't hold on to what I want when it's just so thin. It's all too much to take in. I can't hold on to anything, watching everything spin. With thoughts of failure sinking.
Man, yes, that guitar chord just like totally accentuates, hits that same key with Chester's voice, and I feel like just pushes it a little bit farther and heightens it. This song is a standout for me. I don't think I've ever heard this song before. My wife would hate it because she doesn't like screaming. But dude, this song is amazing. And it sounds like I'm trying to figure out this idea by myself. It almost feels like I don't know, either feeling alone. There were certain lyrics in it that made me start to think that maybe it's on this idea of needing to be by myself because you're kind of force feeding me everything. But let's take a look. Stands out for its aggressive energy, atmospheric electronic-laced verses, raw lyrical themes of isolation, internal struggle. The track originated from elements of a demo called Sad, was initially titled Super Zero during the band's early development stages. Like much of Hybrid Theory, the song was recorded at Energy Recordings in North Hollywood under the guidance of Don Gilmore. The song's lyrical content reflects the personal struggles that vocalist Chester experienced during his adolescence. Themes of isolation, self-doubt, internal conflict resonated strongly with fans, helping to establish Linkin Park's signature emotion intensity. By Myself showcased the band's pioneering hybrid sound. I remember listening to the song a bit over a decade ago. This was 6 years ago. And it actually worried me a bit. Even though I thought the song was cool, it was still quite heavy. Looking in the YouTube comments and seeing references to Chester's struggles, even as a newly teen, it worried me further. I was wishing I could have reached out to him in some kind of way. Fast forward to today, I've since become a big fan of Linkin Park, a big-time admirer of Chester. Heartbreaking we lost him. I would have cherished every moment with them. The speaker could have persistent depressive disorder, aka high-functioning depression. One symptom of PDD is a lack of self-confidence, constantly doubting and criticizing yourself. Uh-oh, everybody's mad at Frank. Uh-oh, is Frank at the bottom? What happened? What'd you do, Frank? It's your cancer in the lyrics. This is a major mistake. Just joking, but seriously, it's your cancer. Okay. I'm not 100% sure, but seems like Frank got something wrong. What do I do to ignore them behind me? Do I follow my instincts blindly? Do I hide my pride from these bad dreams and give in to sad thoughts that are maddening? Do I sit here and try to stand it, or do I try to catch them red-handed? Do I trust some and get fooled by phoniness, or do I trust nobody and live in loneliness? Because I can't hold on when I'm stretched so thin, I make the right moves, but I'm lost within. Put on my daily facade, but then I just end up getting hurt again. By myself, I ask why, but in my mind, I find I can't rely on myself. I ask why, but in my mind, I find I can't rely. So maybe it is this idea of feeling isolated, but you don't feel like you can trust anybody else, and then you're by yourself, and you also feel like you can't trust yourself as well. Let me know your thoughts. All right, let's move into track 8. This is titled In the End. Okay, yes, I know this one instantly.
It starts with one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know or wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me.
Those little stutters.
So things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I've put my trust in you.
Yeah, this is iconic.
As far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I've put my trust in you, pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
I love that closing, man. The piano chords. Yeah, I don't. Is that a single on this album? It is. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely like, if I were to think of Linkin Park, other than Crawling, it would be that song. That was probably, I'm assuming, one of their biggest songs. And it sounds like the idea of no matter how hard you try, like you still feel like you don't make progress, which I don't know if it's connected to, again, kind of the inner battle and fighting depression, or, you know, what other internal conflicts of it can feel like that cycle, right? That sometimes you feel like you ended up right back where you started, and that regression or even regressing, which can just feel maddening at times, right? Which you could also put this into a lot of different things. Sometimes you could feel like maybe you're trying with a person, a relationship, a family relationship or something like that, and like you try to make this progress, but in the end you feel like you've made it nowhere. Or you can feel like that in your career, right? You keep pushing, keep trying, keep going, and yet somehow you feel like you're not moving the needle whatsoever. In the End stands as Linkin Park's most iconic track, serving as the fourth single. The song became a cultural touchstone, blending Mike Shinoda's rap verses, Chester's soaring chorus. The song originated during a late-night session in the band's rehearsal space at Hollywood and Vine, a location Shinoda described as surrounded by prostitutes and drug dealers at the time. He crafted the piano melody and initial lyrics in isolation, later recalling, "I knew I wanted to do the back and forth between singing and rapping, but I didn't know it'd become the song." Drummer Rob Borden was the first to hear the demo, reacting with immediate enthusiasm. Despite its eventual success, Bennington initially resisted including it on Hybrid Theory, favoring heavier metal. He later admitted, "I was wrong. Such a great song." acknowledging its emotional universality. That's awesome. Critics have praised the track's production ingenuity, particularly its textural hyperactivity in the verses, contrasting with Bennington's floating legato choruses. Musicologist Bobby Owsinski noted its crushed mix and strategic dynamic shifts, calling it a textbook example of using the backing track to heighten lyrical impact. For Shinoda, the song's circular lyrical structure reflects a timeless struggle with hopelessness that continues to connect across generations. Shinoda reflected, it's also easy to Monday morning quarterback these types of things where you go, okay, it's popular, so this is why it's popular. You can't say this is what will be popular and then make that thing. You can only do it after the fact. The fact is that, yeah, it's been one of our biggest songs. It's been our biggest song for a long time. Mike said, I remember putting this together in our rehearsal studio, working overnight in a room with no windows. I had no idea what time of day it was. I just slept when I was tired and worked on this song until it took shape. The first guy to hear it was Rob, who told me, and I'm paraphrasing, this was exactly the kind of song he wanted us to write. The band would clarify more about the song in an interview with SiriusXM. Hear the story behind it in the end as we continue to celebrate the 20th anniversary, their influential debut album. So yeah, they did it. Man, they really came out of the gate, like, I guess whenever they got signed, with all these music videos and stuff. I can really relate to the group due to their previous struggle with addiction and overcoming it. Music is inspirational to me, helps me on days when I may feel alone in my survival. I lose friends to this all the time. I wish they would change too, but you cannot help those who do not want to be helped. Okay. Moving into track 9, this is titled A Place for My Head. This is cool. Dude.
Watch how the moon sits in the sky on a dark night, shining with the light of the sun. The sun doesn't give light to the moon, assuming the moon's gonna owe it one. It makes me think of how you act to me. You do favors there rapidly. You just turn around and start asking me about things that you want back from me. I'm sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I wanna be in another place. I hate when you say you don't understand. Just like you and step on people like you do and run away all the people I thought I knew. I remember back then who you were. You used to be calm, used to be strong, used to be generous, but you should have known that you wear out your welcome and now you see how quiet it is all alone. I'm so sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I'm so sick of the tension.
Dude, the layering.
Sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I hate when you say you don't understand. I wanna be in the energy, not with the enemy. A place for my head.
Like a place to rest.
Try to take the best of me, go away you. Try to take the best of me, go away you. Try to take the best of me, go away you. Try to take the best of me, go away you. Try to take the best of me, go away.
Now, give me more of that. Okay, that's another standout for me on this album. Especially the part where he's saying, like, just go away. You take the best from me. Go away. I think we can all relate to that they're all people we've encountered in our lives that maybe in some way with like malicious intent, or maybe it's just because they're stupid, but they just want to take the best of you. And all you want to do is scream at them, go away. Like, go bother someone else. Go put your energy somewhere else. Go away. Mind your business. Especially because he's saying, I want to be with the energy, not with the enemy, a place to lay my head. It's like this group, or finding this community where it's not just these people sucking away so much from you that you feel like you're encamped with the enemy, and you want a place of rest. You want a place to lay your head. You want a place to make your home. Man, it's so good, dude. Okay, let's see. I love that. I love that song. Originally rooted in their earliest creative explorations as the band Zero, it's cool how much came over from that to kind of give them their start. The 9th track on their debut album, the song evolved from a demo titled Esau, named after a friend of the band. Early iterations featured lyrical contributions from original vocalists, with Mike Shinoda noting the track's rhythmic bounce drew inspiration from Deftones' fusion, of heavy guitars and hip-hop grooves. Deftones. I mean, I'm aware of Deftones. I want to check them out at some point. We wouldn't have written a song like A Place for My Head if not for them. There was a bounce to their music that reminded me of my favorite hip-hop songs. And even though the guitars were super heavy, oftentimes they felt smooth like a keyboard, as if the distortion had flattened it so much it was just a wash of chords. Lyrically, the song channels themes of resentment and emotional exhaustion, with Chester Bennington's visceral delivery amplifying certain lines. Shinoda's rap verses critique transactional relationships, a sentiment echoed in the Hybrid Theory 20th Anniversary Edition. The track's Middle Eastern-influenced guitar riff, crafted by Brad Delson and Joseph Hahn's turntable scratches, solidified its place as a nu metal hallmark. Chester shouts, "You try to take the best of me, go away." Oh, the song channels frustration with toxic relationships, the desire to escape those who drain your energy. Crushed it. All right. This is track 10, titled Forgotten.
From the top to the bottom, the top I stop. At the core I forgot, in the middle of my thoughts. Taking far from my safety, the picture's there. The memory
kind of leaps right off the last song.
From the top to the bottom, the top I stop. At the core I forgot, in the middle of my thoughts. Taking far from my safety, the picture's there. The memory won't escape me. Why should I care? There's a place so dark you can't see the end. Skies cocked back, shock at which can't defend. The rain then sends dripping, acidic questions forcefully. The power of suggestion. Then with the eyes shut, looking through the rust and rotten dust, a small spot of light floods the floor and pours over the rusted world of pretend. And the eyes ease open and
cool melodic picking.
From the top to the bottom, the top I stop. At the core I forgot, in the middle of my thoughts. Taking far from my safety, the picture's there. The memory won't escape me. But why should I care? In the memory you'll find me as burning up. The darkness holding me tightly until the sun rises up.
Man, I want to hear Chester continue to explore that singing voice.
Manifested in perpetual sound. The wheels go round and the sunset creeps behind street lamps. Chain link and concrete. A little piece of paper with a picture drawn floats on down the street till the wind is gone. And the memory now is like the picture was then. When the paper's crumpled up, it can't be perfect again. From the top to the bottom to top I stop. At the core I forgot, in the middle of my thoughts. Taking far from my safety, the picture's there. The memory won't escape me. But why should I care? From the top to the bottom to top I stop. At the got me cogniac, you bring the thought back, telling you that I see it right through you. Now you got me cogniac, you bring the thought back, telling you that I see it right through you. Now you got me cogniac, you bring the thought back, telling you that I see it right through you. Now you got me cogniac, you bring the thought back, telling you that I see it right through you. Now you got me cogniac, you bring the thought back, telling you that I see it right through you. Now you got me cogniac, you bring the thought back, telling you that I see it right through you. Now you got me cogniac, you bring the thought back, telling you that I see it right through you. In the memory you'll find me as burning up, the darkness holding me tightly until the sun rises up. In the memory you will find me as burning up, the darkness holding me tightly until the sun rises up.
Okay, well, obviously we got the guitar variation in there that I was talking about, and I've seen that, you know, in several songs kind of moving forward from when I had mentioned that. It does sound here like the song centers on this idea of maybe a memory that you've tried to forget, put behind you, but then it kind of comes back with a vengeance and you're caught in that place, or there's an event that triggers this memory that now you feel kind of caught in its grip. But then the eyes like fire. It almost feels like this rage, maybe. You're kind of caught in this darkness, but your eyes are on fire, remembering that thing. And then the sun coming up is maybe the idea of having to kind of move beyond that thought, out of that dark place. There's this from a demo titled Rhinestone. Lyrically, Forgotten explores psychological fragmentation, with lines like, "At the core, I've forgotten, in the middle of my thoughts," symbolizing identity loss amid external chaos. Shinoda noted the song attempts to reconcile paranoia, anger, blaming others, the naivety that comes when one has to see the world for what it is. The bridge's repetitiveness, or repetition, amplifies this tension, interpreted by many as a confrontation with trauma resurfacing despite efforts to suppress it. Despite its significance, Forgotten rarely featured in live sets after the Hybrid Theory tours, resurfaced in 2014. Shinoda wrote in 2002, "No matter how much I ask him not to, Brad still calls that song by its old name," a testament to its enduring place in the band's history. From its zero-era struggles to its role defining a genre, yeah, at first I was like, that's probably the song on here that I'm like least vibing with. But then as it went on, especially just the heart of the song, I really connect to the kind of idea behind it. Okay, we're moving into the penultimate track from the original 12-track release of Hybrid Theory. This looks like an instrumental, possibly. It's titled Cure for the Itch. All I know is it does not have lyrics on screen.
Folks, we have a very special guest for you tonight. I'd like to introduce...
I love them doing something totally different.
Let's hear it for the great Mr. Hunt.
Reflects the DJ chops.
In rhythm management. Let's begin.
This is why the underpinning of their songs is so good, because somebody's got skills.
Let's try something else.
Dude, please tell me somebody has sampled this. almost has this like Eastern sound to it with those piano notes. This production stands up to anything anyone's doing. Wow. Let's let it roll into the final, and then we'll look at it afterwards. It's awesome. It's wildly different sounds.
I've lied to you the same way that I always do. This is the last smile that I'll fake for the sake of being with you. Everything falls apart, even the people who never frown eventually break down. The sacrifice of fighting in the light. Everything has to end, you'll soon find we're out of time left to watch it all unwind. The sacrifice is never knowing why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. I've tried like you to do everything you wanted to. This is the last time I'll take the blame for the sake of being with you. Everything falls apart, even the people who never frown eventually break down. The sacrifice of hiding in the light. Everything has to end, you'll soon find we're out of time left to watch it all unwind. The sacrifice is never knowing why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. We're all out of time, this is how we find how it all unwinds. The sacrifice of hiding in the light. We're all out of time, this is how we find how it all unwinds. The sacrifice is never knowing why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Pushes me away.
And then everybody that had their hands on this album immediately went, repeat, let's run it again. Okay, man. Let's take a look first at track 11, see if there's any insider ball on that one. Cure for the Itch holds the distinction of being the only song performed solely by one member of the group, Joe Hahn. The band's DJ spins and scratches over complex and often unpredictable drum programming. The title, Cure for the Itch, can be viewed as having two meanings. craving is typically described as an itch when the cure is related to drugs, sex, or even music. Alternatively, one scratches an itch, just as Johan scratches to create this incredible instrumental. Music videos created for the song of just Hans scratches. That's amazing, man, that they showed so much love to it. I love this interpretation, or just even the idea that the instrumental kind of scratches this itch in your own brain. It was really, man, the song was sampled on a later Linkin Park song with Black Thought, vocals titled Executioner Style. But I just wonder if anybody's ever just rapped over it. Chatting with Linkin Park fans on their website back in 2002, Mike Shinoda shared what he was trying to do with Cure for the Itch. Cure for the Itch was my attempt at doing a song without words, trying to do something that would fit into a movie. In an interview with Rock Rage, Shinoda expanded, that particular song is something that our DJ, Mr. Han, and I came up with. It came from a beat that he did with the drums that he did and the strings that I arranged. From there, we just kind of went off in an electronic direction that I thought was cool. I think it turned out really well. We're totally happy with that. The band was totally stoked with it. All right, and then let's take a look here. Pushing Me Away closes Hybrid Theory as one of Linkin Park's most emotionally charged ballads. The track originated during the album's final studio sessions with producer Don Gilmore, pushing the band to create a song that could rival the intensity of Crawling. Mike Shinoda later reflected on its creation. We wanted another song in the vibe of Crawling, but the emotion in Crawling felt inherent, while Pushing Me Away had us thinking too hard. Despite this, the song's haunting piano intro and Chester's vulnerable delivery became a fan favorite for its raw exposition of love's disillusion. Lyrically, the song dissects the paradox of clinging to toxic connections with lines like "The sacrifice is never knowing why I never walked away," encapsulating the cycle of self-blame. Shinoda cited Depeche Mode's introspective style as a key influence, particularly their ability to merge melancholy with electronic textures. Depeche Mode. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Depeche Mode. English electronic band formed in Essex in 1980. The band has consisted of Gone and Gore since Fletcher's death in 2022. Wow, they're still making music. Maybe Depeche. I think that's how you say that. Depeche. I love hearing about the influence from others. So let's see here. 1981, 82, 83, 84, 86, 87, 90, 93, 97, 01, 05, 09, 13, 17, 2023. Crazy run. I wonder if it's primarily electronic or if there's some singing and things in there. Okay, well, let's talk about some final thoughts. I didn't remember so much scratching, and I'm really interested in going and looking at the live performances and things like that to see. I'm assuming there's somebody with a DJ set up, probably helping run the loops and things like that, the drum tracks, and doing some live scratching and mixing and some other stuff, which is super cool, man. So many intricate beats within this album, and you have to listen. Some of them are very forward, others you kind of have to listen pretty well or hear them between things, especially when you have the guitar driving in sections. Such a great mix with Mike and Chester, and they just complement each other so well, and the way they weave in and out in certain songs or ad-lib with one another just creates these really awesome layers. And Chester, obviously, man, just unmatched vocals. I could not imagine doing a live set. Like how you have to take care of your voice and understand the skill because it's so hard, which I'm sure they may have even had to write some slower songs or different things to kind of work creatively within live shows to like make sure that Chester's voice, was able to make it through the whole thing. It's beautiful writing too. It's not plain, but it is fairly simple. Like it's enough to really get you thinking. They don't just like really lay it out in a lot of ways or tell you exactly what we're saying, but it's not so cryptic. And that's probably where it found a place. It was like enough for people to go, man, first you can feel what they're conveying, but then wondering like, man, what is he saying? And you start linking things together and you're like, they're saying some really meaningful things. And then obviously just a lot of variation in the album. So it makes it so much fun. I'm glad they put that instrumental in there and just decided to do something totally different than anything else. So it was just so fun to revisit. And there were so many things I didn't remember, things I'd never actually even heard before. So we'll continue delving into their music different times moving forward. And then I'll have some other albums probably from artists, that I remember hearing pieces of or that I really enjoyed when I was younger that we'll pull back on the channel. It'll be fun. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Keep an eye out on Patreon because I can't wait to get into the content over there. But we already have hundreds of hours of additional content from dozens of artists, and it is the best way to support the channel. So feel free to check it out, see if it's something you're interested in. But look forward to talking to you in the comments. Thanks for hanging out with me for this one. I hope to see you in the next one. It's reading good.